Hello and welcome to the Philippines. Today we're looking at Tubigon, Bohol. It's on the west side of Bohol Island and not so far away from Cebu City, Mactan Island. In fact, they have a large ferry area. It's the largest port area on Bohol after Tagbilaran City. And we were coming in from the direction of Tagbilaran City as we had misread a sign for McDonald's and kept going looking for McDonald's, drove all the way through town. So we originally came from the north on in. The guy in the red helmet up there, we'd stopped at a petrol station, a gas station, to ask where the McDonald's was because we weren't finding it. And he come in behind us, overtook us, motioned to us to follow him. So that's what we're doing. And I was pretty sure we had gone too far, because you will usually find a McDonald's, Jollibee in the center city of these towns. Tubigon is about 46,000 people, so not a bad-sized town. It is about 35 miles or 55 kilometers from Tagbilaran City, so it'll take you an hour and a half to get there, depending upon your transportation. Got several buses, V-hires you can catch out here on town. It seems like a vibrant and very busy little town. Good-sized town. It's got a hospital, and it has a McDonald's. And when I seen them sign for McDonald's, I know that means coffee. It means brewed coffee, good brewed coffee. And that was going to be my first stop in town, and we did find it. We had some lunch and some coffee. There's a big city park right here to the left, and this kind of big area going in. This big gray building on the right, I think that's one of the bigger department type stores here in many of the towns here. Alturas, I believe. Yes. I think the name of the town was originally Tubigan, which meant much water, something like that. And they changed it to Tubigon, which is a place in abundance of water. With an abundance of water, I believe. There's a river that runs through town. They used to get flooding in town, I think, during the rainy season, from what I've read on WikiLeaks and another website. And looks like they've helped to alleviate those problems. I don't know if they've put dikes up or what their solution was to that, or whether they still get any flooding. That would be something to check out if you want to move into this area. A lot of fishing and farming in the area. Rice, corn, coconuts, bananas. And here we're going out to the pier. Big tankers full of fuel there, and I'm not sure if they go and get their fuel over in Cebu and then bring it over to Bohol. They could be waiting to get on a roll ferry, roll-on, roll-off ferry. Somebody will be able to tell us that.
Okay, very hot.
All right.
Where are you going?
We're just we just wanted to go around and look. Is that okay? All right.
Thank you.
I thought we might have to have a ticket to enter this area, but that wasn't the case. I think you can go up and you can purchase a ticket up here at the pier, I believe. I always recommend, when possible, it's not always possible at smaller piers, to purchase your ticket ahead of time when you can. You're more likely not to have to wait in line, number one. Number two, you're more assured of having a spot on that ferry. Number three, some of these ferry offices are not open at all hours. They will take lunch breaks and be closed for other reasons various times. So you might show up at a pier and have to wait a number of hours waiting for them to open back up. From what I have read, they have about 20 ferries a day, 20 ferry trips a day, not 20 ferries, going back and forth between Cebu City and Tubigon here. Some fast ferries, some slower ferries, and a couple of roll-on, roll-off ferries if you have a vehicle that you need to drive on. Keep in mind those numbers can change at any time. There were a lot of pump boats or banca boats down here, or whatever you want to call them. People transporting, buying produce, bringing produce in. One boat there loaded up with 5-gallon bottles of water, going to take them back to their little area, their neighborhood, probably up or down the coast. You could probably rent one of these to take you to nearby islands if that was your desire. Many of the goods that you find on these services in the stores and the markets come by ferry, unless they're locally grown. Then they come by truck. And I am curious, these big tanker trucks, where they get their fuel has to come from someplace. Do they have a terminal here and down by Tagbilaran City or someplace on the island, or do they go back over to Cebu City or another island, Leyte, where they get their fuel and bring it back to Bohol? When there's a storm, a typhoon, that slows down the delivery of your goods, something to keep in mind. And hopefully you plan ahead, bring your needed items. You can see the McDonald's sign up there. Don't want to run out of burgers and coffee. A lot of tricycles. I did not see any taxis, but you could probably hire a taxi to take you from Tagbilaran City, or a grab car. And there's the cultural center there, and I believe the public market is over there as well. A lot of tricycles. And we're using Google Maps here again to look at Bohol, the island of Bohol, the 10th largest island in the Philippines. And just across from Cebu City, Mandaue City, the Mactan International Airport over here in the upper center left area. And this island of Bohol, 10th largest in the 10th largest island in the Philippines. And you have Tagbilaran City, which is the capital of Bohol. You have Panglao Island. This island, especially Alona Beach out here, is known for dive sites, big dive area out here. And anyway, we rented a motorbike here in Tagbilaran City for 7 days actually, and we went around the circumference as close to the ocean as we could, all the way around here. I think we came back in here at Kanduhay and up through here and up this way across to Trinidad, up through Talabon. And somebody asked me if I was going to do a video about Talabon. I've done a video about a number of cities along the way. A couple years ago I was up there. I did a video. I will put a link at the end of this video to Talabon, my little jaunt through Talabon. I spent a couple days up there visiting another foreigner up here between Hatafi, Talabon. But Talabon has a big port there. I think it is right around 60-some thousand people there. Hatafi has a port. You can catch a small banca boat here, also going across here. And we came down here through Claren, and Tubigon is what we're talking about today. This is Tubigon. Tubigon this is the province, and then the city of Tubigon is where we're going to visit today. It is about 35 miles or 55 kilometers from Tagbilaran City, which I think that's if you take this route here. Probably a little bit longer. We went the longer route around here, a little bit longer. So it's going to take you an hour, hour and a half to get down there, depending upon how fast you're driving. But that's where the larger hospitals are. If you have something serious happen to you, you're going to end up going back over to Cebu City, Mandaue City, many hospitals, good hospitals over there. Google Maps or Google Earth, and I also use a separate mapping app on my phone called maps.me. But they can be a good place to initially search if you're going into an area to search for pension houses, hotels, resorts, and that type of thing. One thing to keep in mind, though, is that the placement markers for these places are not always accurate. Now, here, right in the middle, you got what is it? Venier Beach Resort, but it's not really anywhere near the beach. And I think Google allows people to put place markers on these maps anymore, and they are not always accurate. So keep that in mind. I know I had a business location in Phoenix, Arizona, many years ago, and in order to get a placement mark on the map, I had to give the address out to Google. They mailed me something to verify that that was the address of my business. And once I mailed that postcard back to them, then I was allowed to put that marker up, or they put the marker up, I guess, probably. But anyway, here's a look at the town of Tubigon. And as you will see, as you saw in the video, it has a very long pier out here. But also here's the hospital down here. There again, I don't know if that's actually the location of the hospital or not. Things to check out. But here it lists a pension house here, an inn up here, and superstore, BQ Superstore, kind of a mall type store you'll find in some towns here in the Philippines. They had their 200-year bicentennial celebration in April, and they've got a number of other events through the year as well. Pet contest there. And this looks like a little passenger terminal for the smaller banca boats there. And if you live on the coast, anywhere in the Philippines islands, this may be one of your delivery options. You might get your goods delivered by boat instead of by truck or car if you go to the bigger city and you don't live too far from them. And this is one of your fast ferries just getting ready to leave. I have not seen them at Pier 1 in Cebu, so they must stop at Pier 2 or 3 or 4 over there. Anyway, thank you for watching. Please like the video, share the video, subscribe. Safe travels to you all, and we'll see you next time.